Welcome to today's lesson on trigonometry. By the end of this video, you will be able to identify the correct trigonometric ratio for a given problem and calculate a missing side length in a right-angled triangle. We are going to focus on how to find a missing side when you already know one angle and one other side. To do this, we need to be comfortable with our three primary ratios. You might remember the mnemonic SOHCAHTOA. This is our roadmap for deciding which formula to use. Sine of the angle is the opposite side, divided by the hypotenuse. Cosine of the angle is the adjacent side, divided by the hypotenuse. And tangent of the angle is the opposite side, divided by the adjacent side. Throughout this video, I will stress the importance of laying out your work clearly. In trigonometry, jumping straight to the calculator often leads to mistakes. We will show every step, include our units, and round our final answers to three significant figures. Let's look at our first example, where we need to find a missing vertical side. Here we have a right-angled triangle. We are given an angle of 35 degrees and a hypotenuse of 12 centimeters. We need to find the length of the side opposite the angle, which we've labeled x. First, let's identify which sides we are dealing with. We have the hypotenuse and we want the opposite. Looking at SOHCAHTOA, the SOH part tells us to use sine. We start by writing the general formula. Now, we substitute our known values. Sine of 35 degrees equals x divided by 12. To get x by itself, we multiply both sides by 12. Plugging this into the calculator gives us approximately 6.8829. We round this to three significant figures, which is 6.88, and we must remember to include the units, centimeters. In this second example, we'll look at a case where the unknown side is the hypotenuse. In this triangle, we know the angle is 50 degrees and the side adjacent to it is 7 meters. We need to calculate the length of the hypotenuse, labeled y. Since we are working with the adjacent and the hypotenuse, we look at SOHCAHTOA and choose the CAH part, which is cosine. As always, we start by stating our formula clearly. Substitute the values. Cosine of 50 degrees equals 7 divided by y. This one is slightly different because our unknown is on the bottom. We multiply by y and then divide by cosine of 50 to isolate y. Using a calculator, we get 10.890 and more digits. To round to three significant figures, the 8 rounds up because of the 9. Our final result is 10.9 meters. Notice how the working follows a logical flow down the page. For our final example, we will look at the relationship between the two shorter sides of the triangle. In this triangle, we are given an angle of 28 degrees and the adjacent side, which is 5 centimeters. We need to find the height of the triangle, the opposite side, which we have called h. We have the opposite and the adjacent sides involved here. Checking our SOHCAHTOA mnemonic, the TOA part indicates we must use the tangent ratio. We begin with the clear statement of our ratio. Now, substitute the knowns. Tangent of 28 degrees equals h divided by 5. To solve for h, we multiply both sides of the equation by 5. Entering this into the calculator gives us approximately 2.6585. To round to three significant figures, we look at the third digit, 5, and the following digit, 8, tells us to round up. So our final answer is 2.66 centimeters. By following these steps, label, select, substitute, and solve, you can find any side in a right-angled triangle. To wrap up, let's review the key steps we've mastered today. You should now be able to identify the correct trigonometric ratio using SOHCAHTOA and calculate a missing side length with precision. First, always label your sides relative to the given angle. This prevents you from picking the wrong ratio. Second, write down the formula, the substitution and the rearrangement. This makes your logic clear to anyone marking your work and helps you spot errors. Finally, always check your units and ensure you have rounded to three significant figures as requested. Take a quick moment to think. If you were given the opposite side and wanted to find the hypotenuse, which part of SOHCAH would you use? If you thought of sine, you are exactly right. Practice these steps with different triangles, and trigonometry will soon become second nature. Well done on completing this lesson.